Welcome back into We Know Ball. I'm Connor Fuchsa.
I'm Mason Billow.
Now, we had to take a week off just due to crazy schedules, but we're back this week with some NFL talk at the beginning of the show. We're going to talk some trade deadline stuff because we missed talking that last week. Then we're going to get into some college football playoff predictions and some pick'em for college football. But as always, we're going to kick it off with the NFL. Mason, we'll kick it off on a happy note for you. We're going to talk about the AFC East because there was some craziness that happened in the AFC East this past Sunday. The Bills lose to the Dolphins, and the Patriots beat the Bucs in a big game. Now the Patriots are tied for the best division, or the best record in the NFL, excuse me. Mason, I'm assuming I know which one you want to start with. Which one do you want to start with? Patriots?
Drake Maye.
Okay. Go into it. Talk about your Patriots' big win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I do want to say it was sloppy play by the defense. I mean, okay, let me rephrase. Not sloppy, but it's a good Bucs team. This is a good Bucs team with a really great offense. I mean, Emeka Buka, he looked unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
And Baker, he didn't throw a pick. He had 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He played almost a perfect game. It was just a battle of wits in this game. And I think if it comes down to that, do not bet against Drake Maye. Drake Maye so far in the season, he's got over 2,500 yards. He's got 19 touchdowns. He's got 5 interceptions. So he's already surpassed last year's passing yards.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well,
how many games did he play last year?
He played 12 games.
Oh, okay. And this year he's played
10.
10, okay.
So, I mean, say what you want to say, but last year's completion percentage was 66.6. This year it's 71.7.
Yeah.
So far.
He's been balling.
And, I mean, he is just off the charts. Everything looks good. And that's why I think he's going to be the MVP. We can get to that.
We'll get into that in a minute.
And then we want to go to the Bills. And
collapse against the Dolphins.
You look at the stats. Josh Allen didn't have a bad game.
Yeah.
He had a good fantasy game.
Yeah. 306 pass yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 turnovers, though. But I think the big thing with that is a lot of that came in garbage time, and a lot of that came in the fourth quarter. Through the first 3 quarters, Josh Allen had 121 passing yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. So he had 180 yards and 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter when they were already down over 2 scores. So a little bit garbage time, but yes, still not a bad game for him overall. Just weird game.
I got to give the MMVP, the Masons' most valuable player of this game, to Devon Achane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
This was a weekend. I mean, it's been a season kind of, but it's been a weekend of running backs. I mean, Jonathon Taylor, we'll talk about him a little bit later with the MVP conversation, but just in general, I mean, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns? Jahmyr Gibbs had 153 touchdowns. Achane, over 220 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Hey, and you know what? We missed something with the Patriots game. Your rookie running back, Trevion Henderson, 150 yards on the ground on 14 carries, 2 touchdowns. So let's talk about that for a minute. Henderson finally takes over the backfield. I mean, obviously Stevenson was out. Do you think this is what we're going to see for the rest of the season? Or do you, even with his amazing game, they only gave him 14 carries. Are they just allergic to giving him the ball? Or what's happening?
I wouldn't say they're allergic to giving him the ball. But I would say I think the system is not right for him. Our system that we play.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right for him. And I think he'll probably be gone in the next or after his rookie contract. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, he had a heck of a game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, did you see the clip of when he was trying to score the touchdown and he looked to the sideline should I score? Should I score? That was awesome. But, yeah, I do want to talk about Tua.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and you still score 30 points.
Yeah. Well, again, because of Devon Achane.
I mean, he only threw 21 passes.
Yeah. Achane had 22 carries, so they really was feed Achane. That was the game plan. And it should be. It's a good game plan. I don't know why more teams, when they've got a good running back, don't use them. I know the league has shifted towards more of a passing volume type of game, but if you've got a running back, this weekend was proof in an Achane or a Jonathon Taylor. Just give him the ball. In that overtime game, again, we're not talking about the Colts game, but in that overtime game for Jonathon Taylor, I think it was, no pun intended, 6 of their 7 plays were him. Just run the ball, incomplete pass, run the ball, touchdown. Like, you just fed him, and it worked. Like, it's not rocket science. Just get the ball to your best players, and they'll go make a play for you. I don't see a world where, with a Jonathon Taylor, or the Falcons need to do more with Bijan and stuff like that. If you give them the ball on 4 straight plays, you're getting a first down. Like, I just don't see a world where you don't get 10 yards on 4 plays with that player. So, more teams need to do what the Dolphins did there and just feed their running back. But now, as for the AFC East, Patriots now, 2 games up on the Bills, and they have the tiebreaker. Dolphins get a win that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, and Jets are still sitting. They're still sitting at 1 win or 2 wins. I think they're still sitting at 1. They're
on a 2-game winning streak.
They were on a 2-game winning streak, yes. So, very interesting division. Looks like the Patriots are starting to run away with it, but there's still obviously 8 weeks of the season left. So,
and we still have to play the Bills again.
Exactly, and that's a big one to try and sweep them. Which we already talked about it a couple weeks ago on our player predictions. I don't think y'all will sweep them, but I don't know. After that Dolphins game, I'm starting to feel a little more confident in the Patriots.
I know there's such a topsy-turvy team this year.
Yeah,
the Bills. They could play a heck of a game one week and then just totally collapse the next.
I just think this season, more than any season in recent history, there's so much parity in the NFL, specifically in the AFC. Like, the top teams, we're supposed to be the Ravens, the Bills, the Chiefs. Chiefs aren't top team in their division right now. They're starting to figure it out, though. Bills are, like you said, they're losing to bad teams, beating good teams. They're all over the place. Ravens, collapsed completely beginning of the season. They're starting to figure it out now. And that kind of leads us into our MVP conversation. Not only is there a lot of parity with the teams, there's a lot of parity in the MVP candidates. It's not those big names. It's not the Josh Allens. It's not the Lamar Jacksons. It's not the Mahomes that it's been for 5 years straight has it been one of those 3? And Aaron Rodgers, you throw him in, it's been like 7 years of just those 4. The top current 2 in MVP voting, like betting odds, are Drake Maye and Matthew Stafford. And then right behind them is Jonathon Taylor. So let's get into that MVP conversation. What's your opinion right now? I know, obviously, I think everyone can guess who your pick's going to be, but give your argument and your case for who's leading the pack right now.
It's Drake Maye. Obviously, you know it. Everybody knows it. The things that he has been doing, is insane to think of. Mm-hmm. This is a second-year guy. He's not 15-year veteran Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
right. He's making great decisions. He's making good reads. Mm-hmm. He only has 1 bad pick.
Yeah,
and that was last game. So, you take all that in consideration, and you take one of the best completion percentages in the league.
Yeah. You
take the yards. Yeah. He's got a really good deep ball. He just needs to throw it more to get those yards up, He's also got the best QBR, too. So, you take all that into consideration, and you can't really... I agree with the betting odds.
Yeah.
You take all of Drake Maye, and then you compare it to Stafford, and you're like, I can't pick between these 2 guys.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to pick Drake Maye, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you look at them statistically and what they've done for their teams, they're almost the same person.
Yeah. It's a very close race. Right now, the stats, what they say, Drake Maye's 3rd in passing yards in the NFL. 3rd in passing touchdowns, 2nd in completions percentage. He does have 5 interceptions. Stafford, 4th in passing yards, 1st in passing TDs, only has 2 interceptions. His completion percentage is significantly lower than Drake Maye's. Honestly, the argument for Maye, too, on top of that is, again, it's supposed to be most valuable. I love Stafford. Stafford's been amazing. Stafford has Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams and Sean McVay. Any one of those names is better than whatever Drake Maye is working with in New England. Yes, Diggs has, looked pretty good. But, he's been giving it to Kayshon Boutte. And
That's his top target.
That is his top target. Again, he's had the running back turmoil of Travion Henderson or Ramondre Stevenson, which are both, good backs, but they're not Kyron Williams.
Oh, I do want to talk about Mac Hollins.
Making a resurgence.
He got over 100 yards. He's the guy who, wears bare feet all the time.
Yes.
And, every week I see him on my feed, and he's, teaching me, how to fix a crack in my windshield. Okay. And he just went over 100 yards. I just wanted to mention that. That's
Yeah. No,
So
but
funny.
that's what's been impressive with Drake May. He's been hitting so many different targets. Like it hasn't really been one guy. Again, there's been Keyshawn Booty, there's been Stephon Diggs. I mean, there's been now Mac Hollins, Hunter Henry's had some
Kyle
games.
Williams.
Kyle Williams had a good game too. Like,
Well, he just had one catch for 70
yeah,
yards.
one get, yeah, but it was a touchdown. So he's been spreading the ball out really well, which is like something you usually don't see out of those second year guys. They kind of feed their number one, but to be fair, he doesn't really have a number one to do that with. The case for Stafford though is, I mean, Rams also 8-2. And I mean, again, he's up in the top of most of the top categories for quarterbacks. So I think a lot of it does come down to where these teams end up record wise. Like if the Patriots can end up a 14-3, I think it's Maye's award, even if the Rams are 14-3. But if the Rams go 13-4, 14-3, and the Patriots end up like 12-5, and somehow the Bills take the division at 12-5 or 13-4, then I feel like Maye's probably out of it. But the wild card in all of this is its most valuable player. It's not a quarterback award. Yes, if we're predicting right now, I'm picking Maye or Stafford. However, my pick right now, it should be Jonathon Taylor. I honestly think Saquon had a very good case last year, but Saquon didn't even have as big of a case as Jonathon Taylor does. This is a Colts team that preseason was picked to win 3 or 4 games. I think their betting line we've talked about before is 4.5 or 3.5. It was something extremely low. They are now at 8. They're at 8 wins. And that's on the back of Jonathon Taylor, who has over 1,100 rushing yards, 15 rushing touchdowns, 6 yards per carry. So actually, I said if you hand it to him 4 times, he'll get 10 yards. If you hand it to him twice, he'll get 12. So 6 yards per carry, and he has 58 first downs as a running back. I picked up the second best in every stat. James Cook has the second most rushing yards, 219 behind him. 219 behind him. 10 touchdowns for Jacobs is the second closest. 5 behind him. 5.5 yards per carry is 0.5 yards behind him. And then 44 first downs is 14 behind him.
I do want to say something. You said James Cook was 219 yards behind him?
Yes.
Colts haven't had their bye week. Bills
Colts are having it right now. Yes. No, that is fair.
So that could be one game.
Honestly, what I did realize through looking through the second place is how good of a year James Cook is having. James Cook is second in rushing yards. He's the second place in yards per carry, and he's the second place in rushing first downs.
You wouldn't say that after watching the game this past week.
Yeah.
He only had 13 carries, 53 yards.
Yeah, but he's had some big games, and I mean, also it's just been a weird year. Number 3 in rushing yards is Rico Dowdle in the entire NFL. Didn't even start the first 2
I hate
games.
Rico Dowdle. I was a proud Chuba Hubbard owner, and then Chuba Hubbard gets hurt, and he comes back, he takes a job, and now I'm out of a running back.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But to me, the most valuable player on any team right now is Jonathon Taylor. Like the entire Colts offense is run around him. Yes, Daniel Jones had a great resurgence of a season. In the last 2 weeks, Daniel Jones has 7 turnovers. That is an insane stat. 7 turnovers. He had 2 in this last game, and it was Jonathon Taylor's 260 some odd yards, 3 touchdowns, and again, being the entire drive in overtime, they got them that win. So this team can only go as far as JT's legs can take them. We saw last year that the NFL has shifted to where a running back can lead you, like Saquon did. But again, Saquon had a much less of a case than Jonathon Taylor because that defense for the Eagles was better than the Colts, even though the Colts defense is looking good. And then obviously Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Like there's so many other weapons on the team. There's some good players on this Colts offense. JT is miles above all of them.
Everybody knows that this is a quarterback award.
But like, so I know predicting would be Maye or Stafford. I'm not ever going to pick Jonathon Taylor. But in your opinion, does he deserve it?
If he's on pace to beat Saquon Barkley's incredible season from last year, yes.
I think, what is the rushing record? Was it like 2,100 somewhere around there?
The rushing record?
Or not, yeah. Or what Saquon did. Saquon was close to it.
He had
was one game behind.
He had 2,095, I believe. I don't know for sure.
So because right now, Jonathon Taylor is 10 games in.
Yeah.
He's at 1,100 yards. So he'd be about on pace. I mean, just quick math in my brain of a 17-game schedule. He'd be about on pace for about 1,900.
18 or 17 game, yeah.
Yeah, so about 1,900 yards, and he'd get close to 28 touchdowns, which would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
So it really is. It sucks for running backs and wide receivers that you basically have to break records to win an award like this, whereas the quarterbacks can just have a good year, like for whatever the standard is for quarterback this year. Like honestly, Maye and Stafford stats aren't as impressive as like a normal MVP candidate 10 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
So if there's any year that with the Mahomes, the Allens, the Lamars out of the conversation, a running back could come in and take it, I'd say it's this year. but he probably has to eclipse that 2,000 mark for it to even be feasible.
Well, speaking of the Colts,
we're going to trade?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you want to transition. That's fine. Is this your way of telling me I'm yapping too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're both yapping too much.
So let's go to the trade deadline. We're going to hit it quickly because this is now kind of old news, but we haven't got to discuss it yet on the show. Sauce Gardner to the Colts, Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, and Rashid Shaheed and Jacoby Myers, a couple other medium-ish sized names, changing
A.D.
scenery.
Mitchell?
Oh, and A.D. Mitchell. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to Sauce. So let's start with Sauce. The Colts team is one you've been very skeptical of all year long. They keep winning, and now they go...
They lost twice.
Well, yes, but they keep winning now. They won again last week. And they are also now going into win now mode and making a big trade like this for Sauce Gardner. What is your opinion on... Does this move the needle at all, or are they still the Vikings?
Yes. My gosh, yes. Connor, did you see that route?
What?
Sauce Gardner against...
Okay. Sauce Gardner is not... That was one... It's his first game outside of MetLife.
Like, that was bad. Dude,
yeah.
That was really
No,
bad.
it was. He did get cooked, but it's Sauce Gardner. Honestly, he was the best corner in the league up until this game. Like, this season, he had been on lockdown.
You make an argument for Christian Gonzalez.
He is. Gonzo has been good. But I would say the number one corner in the league so far this season has been Sauce Gardner.
Right, okay.
And also, what I love about this move is it's not one of those win-now moves like not saying Quinnen Williams is like a complete win-now move for the Cowboys because they ain't winning anything soon. But, like, he's an older guy. Sauce is young. Like, this is a guy they are going to have on their team for multiple years. And I think that's a smart move from the Colts to not just trade for a guy that'll be good this year because hopefully this year's it for them. But honestly, they have a good future. They can be a good team for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years if they set themselves up well. Sauce is a great piece for that.
Yeah.
Also, getting rid of A.D. Mitchell is a huge piece to that. They are 8-2. They should be 9-1 if it weren't for Adonai Mitchell in that Rams game where he fumbled the touchdown on the goal line and then proceeded to get a holding play completely outside of the play on Jonathon Taylor's big run to potentially win them the game. So if Adonai Mitchell was not on the Colts this season, they probably would be 9-1. But yeah, now that's a big move for the Colts. I actually really like it. It makes even more confidence for me that they can make it to a conference championship game. But the Cowboys. Let's talk about the Cowboys. Now, Jerry Jones obviously catches a lot of flack. Because of the Micah Parsons trade, not wanting to sign him, taking forever to sign his players. But quietly since, outside of the Micah, he's been really good this offseason. He went out and got Javonte Williams. He went out and got George Pickens. He now has gone out and traded for Quinnen Williams. He's quietly made a lot of good acquisitions and trades this offseason already. Outside. And the Micah trade, honestly, isn't on paper, it's not a bad trade. It's a bad trade to get rid of your star, but, like, the value he got in return was honestly a pretty good deal. Like, he's added Kenny Clark to this team, added a lot of picks to this team. Like, if you look at what the assets they got from the Packers, they used some of them to get Quinnen Williams. Like, the overall Micah trade is, like, we traded Micah and, like, Mozzie Smith, which we need to get rid of Mozzie Smith, and, like, one of the picks from the Packers for Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, and some picks. Like, that, It looks a lot better now on paper.
I do want to say this. I don't think Quinnen Williams is going to help that bummy secondary.
Well, this is, to me, for next year. This year is already scraps for the Cowboys. They're 3-5-1. It'd be really, really impossible to make the playoffs with that huge gauntlet of a schedule they've got coming up after the Raiders this week. So the Cowboys' playoff season and their season's basically done. However, Quinnen Williams does fit their timeline with that because they've only got about 2 or 3 more years probably of, like, really actually having a chance to compete. I like where the Cowboys are looking for the future if they can fix the secondary, which they have an offseason to do. I mean, you've got Quinnen Williams on the D-line. You've got Overshown coming back. I mean, he'll be healthy next year. He's about to hopefully soon come back for the Cowboys this year. You've got Kenny Clark. I love Donovan Ezraku. You know that. And then the offense, as long as you re-sign Pickens, which Jerry Jones, please re-sign Pickens. You've got CD Pickens, Dak on the offense. The offensive line actually looks pretty good this year. Really, going into last offseason, there's about 8 holes to fill. You could say we needed offensive line, we needed running backs, we needed a wide receiver too, we needed D-line, we needed linebackers, we needed secondary. Outside of quarterback, you basically needed to fill everything. He's checked off most of those to where this offseason going in, it's just linebackers and secondary. You just gotta reinforce that run defense with the linebackers and then the secondary heavily, which you can honestly almost do just in the draft and maybe with one free agency acquisition. So He's actually set the Cowboys up for a good future. But for right now, obviously doesn't move the needle for this season. The Cowboys aren't making the playoffs. So, we don't really need to touch much on Rashid Shaheed, Jacoby Myers. I mean, that's old news, not that big of names. Myers finally does get traded. He's been asking for it all year, basically, with the Raiders. And then Rashid Shaheed, I believe, is to the Seahawks. Just to add to that deep team. RIP for anyone that was still believing in Torrey Horton like me. I really thought Torrey Horton was going to step up and be the 2 on that team because Kupp was starting to regress. Well, Rashid Shaheed's the outside guy now, so Horton's going to the bench.
Hey, he's still returning punts, right?
Probably. That's probably about his only role. But no, Shaheed might take that too. So Shaheed basically just came in and said, I'm better than you. And this is his role now. So poor Torrey Horton, the Colorado State guy. Shout out him. But last game we're going to talk to in the NFL segment is going to be the Houston versus Jacksonville game. Now, Houston's a team you had sneaking into the playoffs still. Jacksonville's a team that I'm higher on, I feel like, than a lot of others. Going into the start of the fourth quarter, it was looking like I was right. 29-10, Jacksonville's up. They're coasting. It is Davis Mills in there. It's not C.J. Stroud, so you can cut Houston some slack. However, they didn't need any slack. Touchdown. Davis Mills touchdown to put them up with 37 seconds left. Davis Mills rushing touchdown to take the lead and score 21 unanswered points. And if that wasn't enough, last play of the game, fumble recovery, take it to the house just for insult to injury. Houston wins this one, 37-29. I mean, historic collapse from the Jags. A game that they much needed. Because they're probably not winning this division now with the Colts. They're fighting for a wild card. And, I mean, in this year in the AFC, you got to have 11 wins probably to make the wild card.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
It's a very tough one. And I feel like you said right here, I don't think T-Law can win nothing.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, if you were to rank out quarterbacks 1 through 32, depending on the person, he's probably as high as 13, as low as like 22. Like somewhere in that range.
I agree.
He's young, but not that young anymore. I mean, he's in his 4th season, I believe. Like, at what point do you say, hey, I mean, you're all right. You're better than a lot of other quarterbacks out there, but, like, you're never going to win anything for us, so we got to move on.
Yeah, I feel like that is coming up with T-Law.
Like, do you already start looking into drafting a quarterback for this next season? And, like, most teams won't. When you've got a mid guy, they kind of just roll with it. It's only when you got a bad quarterback you go draft someone. But at the end of the day, you're never going to win. You're never going to make a conference championship. You're never going to win a Super Bowl. You're never going to be an actual contender with Trevor Lawrence as your quarterback. He is just all right.
And with this Jags team, I mean, it's such a young team.
Oh, yeah.
You probably need to find a new quarterback
fast. I was going to say, with Brian Thomas Jr., with Travis Hunter, the defense has started looking a lot better. And then Liam Cohen obviously coming in, great offensive mind. Like, it feels like the missing piece of this team is just an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I'm the Jags, I'm actually looking towards drafting one this next upcoming season. The hard part is you're not going to be picking anywhere high because you're going to be around that 15 to 20 range if you are a borderline playoff team. So, it's just interesting because, I mean, Trevor Lawrence obviously has that one playoff win but it's not even a good game from him. His one playoff win isn't even a good game. It's the one where he threw 3 picks in the first half and then the Chargers just collapsed. So it just really doesn't feel like they're going to really be able to win anything with Trevor Lawrence. So I think it's time to move on there. Do you still, side note, do you still believe in Houston? That they can still somehow squeak away to the wild card, or is that train starting to slowly fade?
It's kind of looking like it. I mean, they're only, one game back from 500?
Yeah.
4-5?
But again, you gotta have 10 or 11 wins this year to make it in the AFC.
That might be true.
Like right now, think about it like this. The 3 wildcard teams for the AFC right now are currently the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Chargers. You got to outdo one of those 3.
You say the Bills like they're a huge team.
They're also sitting at like 6-4, I think. So like that's already 2 full games up on the Texans. I mean, the Chargers have looked great in my opinion, and the Chiefs. They're not missing the playoffs.
You can see it. You can see it. I'll tell you that. But
okay. I mean, yeah, there's still plenty of time for some craziness to happen. But for now, that's it for our NFL talk. We're going to head to commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to do our college football playoff, 12-team playoff predictions, who we have our 1 through 12 seed, and then maybe our national title pick. We'll be right back. Welcome back into We Know Ball. Now, before the break, we talked about NFL. Now it's time to get our college football rankings prediction. So we're going to try and predict the 1 through 12 seed for the college football playoffs. It's not always, I guess, necessarily what we would do. It's just what we're trying to predict is going to happen with the seeding, how it's going to all fall out. And on top of that, we're going to predict our national championship game and our winner. So it's going to probably be a long segment, so bear with us. We're going to start off. Mason, just give me your 1 through 12 and kind of break down. Actually, no. Let's start with like a little bit easier than that because it's going to be a lot to break down. Let's start with 1 through 4. Go through 1 through 4. We'll debate. I'll go through 1 through 4, and we'll just keep moving, breaking it down like that because otherwise it's going to be a lot.
Well, should we start at the back end, man?
Should we start? Okay, so I guess we'll start at the back end. 12. Fine. We'll start with 12 seed. This is, I'm assuming, for you is also your group of 5 bid.
No.
It's not. Okay. Well, start with your 12, and we'll start and we'll debate. I'll give my 12. You give your 12.
My 12. It was a battle between 3 teams.
Okay.
It was a battle between BYU, Notre Dame, and Miami. 3 teams battling for that 12 seed, and I'm going to give it to Notre Dame.
Okay.
They always seem to make the playoffs with the only 2 good games they play, they lose.
Yeah.
And they always seem to make the playoffs still, and they have the best running back in college football.
Yeah.
So I think just comparing them to BYU and Miami, who's had a sluggish season, I think Notre Dame takes that 12 slot.
Okay. So my 12 slot's going to be my group of 5. It's going to be, so here's the scenario right now. It's going to be the team that comes out of the American. Navy has USF and Memphis still left on their schedule. I don't know if they make it to
Army.
that. Yeah, and Army, but Army is not for their conference schedule. I'm saying if they lose one of those, they're not going to make their conference championship. I think they lose one of those so they don't make the conference championship. Okay. They're out of the picture. USF has Navy. If they lose that game, they're out. If they win, I think they win out and they're going to make the conference championship. Tulane's going to win out. They're going to probably be in no matter what, in my opinion. So then it comes down to North Texas, who I think will also win out. So the big game to me is Navy USF. Will USF beat them? If USF beats Navy, it's USF Tulane. I have USF going to the playoffs. If USF loses to Navy and Navy loses to Memphis, then I have UNT facing off against Tulane, and I have North Texas making it to the playoff. Right now, Tulane has the tiebreakers that they will be in either way if they win out. So it is going to be either Tulane, North Texas, or Tulane, USF. And I think it's going to be North Texas. And
Tulane has a tiebreaker over North Texas?
What?
Tulane doesn't have a tiebreaker over North Texas.
Well, when there's going to be a multi-team tie. They were ranked the highest of the teams that have the multi-team tie. But that's where the tiebreakers get interesting. It gets confusing because also when 3 more games get played, the tiebreakers are going to change again. But as of right now, if they win out, it looks like they should be in to the conference championship.
Just tell me what.
All that to say, it gets confusing. I don't think Tulane's winning the conference championship, whether they make it or not. It's going to be one of South Florida or North Texas. They make it to that game.
Pick the right team, Connor.
I don't know which one's going to make it.
Pick the right team.
But I'm going to go with North Texas.
Yes! Come on!
I love Eric Morris. I love Drew Mestemaker. I love what they're doing at North Texas. That offense is absolutely electric. Go Mean Green. I think they will if they can make it to the conference championship, which unfortunately for them they could win out and they're still where they don't, based on just all the tiebreakers in this conference. But if they make it to that conference championship, I think they win it. I think they find their way to the college football playoff.
Yeah, and I agree. I did want to say something before we get further.
Yeah.
Is Nico getting fired?
Nico Harrison.
Yeah.
He got basically relieved of his duties this morning. The assistant GMs have stepped up. That's a different story for a different pod, but hopefully so, as a Mavs fan. But
my 11 seed.
Wait, I think we need to do this a little bit differently because we're going to be all over the place. What's your group of 5? Let's just go through conferences. I think that's an easier way to do this.
My group of 5 is North Texas.
Okay. Where do you have them ranked then?
9.
Dang. You think
they're 11-1.
I know.
If I have them winning out and winning the conference championship, they're 11-1. That's a way better resume than the last three teams I have.
I agree, but also they're not even in the top 25 for the college football playoff poll right now. So they don't even value them right now.
Connor.
They haven't even, the college football playoff committee is not even valuing them in their top 25.
They are valuing them. They're receiving votes. It's just,
but how
they are going to make this rankings in the next 2 weeks.
I agree, but I think all said and done, if they win their last 2 games and then they beat Tulane or whoever they face in the conference championship game, they move up to 14. 14 is still the 12 seed in the way this playoff system works.
Connor, I understand that. And we saw Boise State. What did they get? They get a bye last playoff?
Well, they had to get a bye because no, they didn't have to get a bye because they outdid the what was it, the Big 12 conference champion or the ACC? It was the ACC conference champion they outdid.
Last week of the college football rankings, they were 9th.
Yeah,
in the rankings,
but
they got number 4.
Oh,
what is it?
I don't know. Your alarm going off mid-show. But Mason, you want to hear something fun? Wait, are we gonna get this off?
I'm trying.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry.
But what I'm saying is the committee always valued them. You want to know where they were at this point in the season last year? Number 12 in the college football playoff poll. They started at 12. The committee already valued Boise State. The committee is not valuing any group of fives this year.
But that's understandable. If you look at what Boise State has done.
Exactly.
They have been the top group of 5 team in the past 20 years.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They are going to maybe put them as a top. I mean, they didn't get picked for a seed because they were conference champion. They got the auto bye, so they had to get the 4. But they would have been the 9 seed, basically, last year, which is where you're saying you have UNT at the 9 seed.
Boise State.
But I'm saying,
12-1.
But you just proved my point. You said the committee values Boise State a lot more than they're going to value in North Texas.
I understand that, and at the same time, you're thinking that a group of 5 team is just not going to make the freaking playoffs.
No, one has to make it.
You were just saying that they're not valuing any of these teams, right?
They wouldn't make it if they didn't have an auto bid this year. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, no crap. Like,
well, no crap.
They're not going to rank a group of 5 team in the top 12 after Boise State. They're not. They're just not. After Boise State's performance in the playoffs, they're just not going to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to let you keep proving my point. Keep going.
I'm not, because at the same time, this North Texas team, they could be number 24 in the final college football playoff rankings. They will still be the 9th seed.
We're just going to move on because that logic just doesn't even make sense. But let's move on. Let's go to the ACC. We're just going to have to go conference by conference because my ACC champion is the 11 seed. I think you have them a lot higher. Who do you have coming out of the ACC? And do you have more than one bid coming out of the ACC?
I have more than one bid.
Okay.
I have Georgia Tech as conference champion.
Yeah.
And the number 4 seed. 4
seeds. Wait, hold up. Time out. After losing this past week, the only way they make the 4 seed is if they're beating Georgia. Do you have Georgia Tech beating Georgia?
Yes.
Okay. I just needed to get that out there. Okay.
Georgia is a terrible team.
I mean, I do agree Georgia's kind of fraudulent, but I don't know if I see Georgia Tech beating them. But
I mean, it's any given Saturday, right?
Yeah.
You could lose to a bad team. Just look at Alabama. That's to Florida State.
Yeah. But that's beginning of the season versus mid-season. But yes, I get what you're saying.
I mean, sometimes your team just stumbles. And then my second team of the ACC is the 11th seed Louisville.
Okay. So you think they get an at-large? They get the final at-large bid, or I guess no, your final at-large bid was Notre Dame. So you have Louisville getting above Notre Dame at the 11.
Uh-huh.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see maybe a world where that happens. I've got a chance for them to get 2 bids, but I only have 1 for ACC this year. I think they bit themselves in the butt this past weekend. Their top 2 teams both lost a game.
So did the Big 12.
Well, Tech didn't lose. Tech or Utah didn't lose. Only BYU bit themselves in the butt.
Well, they were the top teams.
Yeah, but I'm saying like at least in Big 12's world last week, the top 2 teams faced each other. One of them had to lose. And then the third best team also won their game. In the ACC, their 2 top teams lost into 2 not even top 8 teams in the conference. Like, they got upset. And so that hurts their conference a lot worse. I, at my 11 seed, have gone back and forth a lot. I think Georgia Tech obviously is going to be in the ACC title game. Right now, there's 5 teams with 1 loss. That is Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pittsburgh, SMU, Duke. 2 of those are going to be playing the conference championship game unless 4 of them lose and then Miami can find their way in. But I don't think Miami's going to find their way into the conference championship. And if they don't, I don't think they get an at-large this year. It's hard. So I think it's going to be Georgia Tech versus any of those 4 teams. My current pick would be Duke to make it out of that crop. I think no matter who comes out of that crop of the 4, Georgia Tech's winning it. So I've got Georgia Tech as my 11 seed. Okay,
that's
so
way low, but
yeah. So now let's do our last 2 conference I guess there's still 3 more conference championships. And then we'll go into just reading off our entire rankings. We can debate some of the spots. So let's go to the easy-ish one. Big 12. What do you have in your Big 12 conference championship game? Who do you have coming out of it? And where do you have them ranked?
Okay. I'm not going to lie. I did this on a program last night. It was on my different computer.
Yes.
So I don't have it up. I don't have it pulled up.
That's fair.
But it doesn't really matter, does it?
I mean,
Texas Tech is going to win.
Okay.
Get in the playoffs and be the only Big 12 team.
Okay. And so now that there's no more auto buys, so they don't have to be a top 4 seed, where do you have Tech finishing?
5.
You have them 5. So you have them the first team out of the bye.
Yep.
So they get, Tech Notre Dame would be in Lubbock. That'd be such a fun game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I also have Texas Tech winning. I think right now, as long as BYU wins out, they'll be in that championship game with Tech because they'll beat Cincinnati, who's the other team that is currently a 1-loss. But I think no matter Cincinnati, if Utah finds a way, if BYU finds a way in, Tech's winning. Tech's winning the Big 12. I have them as my number 7, but they are making it. And even if they, honestly, Tech has done themselves good enough. The only way the Big 12 gets 2 bids this year is honestly if they make that championship game against BYU or Utah and lose. Because I think Tech will still get the at-large. Because they showed it last year with SMU that if you lose in your conference championship, they don't punish you.
Yeah, that's... No,
they set the precedent.
So stupid,
they set the precedent that if you lose in your conference championship, they're not going to punish you out of the playoffs. So, honestly, the best thing that can happen for the Big 12 is Tech to go into Arlington and lose to BYU or Utah, and you get 2 teams in. But that's not what I'm predicting. I think Tech's not taking the foot off the gas. They're winning out. So, let's move over to the Big 10. Who's your champion? Where do they rank?
My champion, or my conference championship, I do remember this, was Ohio State, Indiana.
Okay,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the 2 best teams, arguably, in college football.
Yeah.
I've got Ohio State winning that conference championship game.
Yeah.
So I've got Ohio State all the way at the top at number 1.
Yeah.
I've got Indiana also. I've got Oregon, and that's it. I thought I had more. I also put Oregon in there.
Oh, yeah.
Slotted them in.
They're a confusing team. They almost lost to Iowa this past weekend, but I don't really see if they didn't lose that one where they lose again.
Yes. So, I mean, 3 teams, 3 really good teams. I mean, it seems like this is the Big Ten season again.
Yeah, I mean, whether they can get as many teams in as the SEC, they can't, but their top ones always find a way to win it. And I think this could be the 3rd straight year for a Big Ten championship. But for me, I also have Ohio State, Indiana in my championship game. This is what I go back and forth on. I went back and forth on so much. I think Indiana is a better football team. I don't think Ohio State should be the current number 1 right now anyways because their resume is not better than A&M's or Indiana's. They just are still sitting at the number 1 because they put them there and they don't want to move them down because they haven't lost. The number 1 team in the nation right now, AP poll-wise and college football playoff poll-wise, should be A&M or Indiana, and I'd put Indiana number 1. I think Indiana is a better football team, but at the end of the day, do I want to bet on this Indiana team going undefeated and winning the Big Ten championship, or do I want to bet on Ohio State who's been there, done it before? So at least for the Big Ten championship game, I'm going to bet on Ohio State, but you may see come playoff time, I think I'm going a different direction. So I've got Ohio State number 1, Indiana number 3, and then Oregon still finding their way in at number 8.
I have Oregon at number 7, almost the same.
Yeah.
I do want to say, though, you talk about Ohio State's strength of schedule and how just really bummy it is. So it's Indiana's.
Yeah, but Indiana has the Oregon win. That they at least have their... I mean, I guess you could say Ohio State has their Texas win, but that beginning of the year Texas team was not the same Texas team we're starting to see now.
Well, yeah, it was a better team.
Texas is kind of starting to find their form now. They're doing better now than they were at the beginning of the year.
No,
after beating Vandy, the Texas team that beat Vandy is the better team than the Texas team that showed up against Ohio State week 1.
No. They held Ohio State to 14 points.
Yeah, the defense looked great, but the offense was abysmal.
We're still just talking about the team.
Yes, no, I know. But like that team, that game, that scoreboard was very misleading.
Like, the offense has progressed throughout the season.
Oh, a lot.
The defense has regressed.
That is also true. Yes. No, they've kind of averaged out in those areas. But that's a different story. We can get into that. Final conference we got to hit on, SEC. I mean, that's where most of these teams are going to come from. But who do you have playing in that SEC championship? Who do you have winning it?
We've got 4 teams.
Making it. Okay.
And the conference championship is going to be Alabama versus A&M.
Okay, I agree.
And I think Alabama wins this game.
Mm-hmm.
Gives Texas A&M their second loss for me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they will probably slip up and lose to Texas.
Really?
Yep.
If they lose to Texas, would they still be playing in the SEC title game? I guess, yeah, that'd be their first loss. Okay, yeah.
Yes. And Ole Miss gets snubbed again from going to Atlanta. Obviously. Always happens.
Yeah.
So I've got those two teams, and then I have Ole Miss at the 8th seed, and then Vandy at the 10th seed.
So you have Georgia not in your playoffs. So
They have to lose to Georgia Tech, so that's...
So they beat Texas this week and knocked Texas out, and then they lose to Georgia Tech in the last week, and that's enough to get them out?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's enough to put, if Vandy wins out, Vandy has a better resume. Put them in.
I think that would become an interesting debate then, because then Georgia would be, I mean, if they beat Texas this weekend, they'll be the 4 or the 5. And if their only loss after that is Georgia Tech, do they have enough to drop them 7 spots?
Yeah. And
so
then
it would be that conversation between Georgia, Notre Dame, and Louisville. You think they'd put Louisville in over Georgia? I know that's what probably should happen, but like, do you think they'd do it?
I think they will. I think the SEC bias is over.
They're tired of getting called biased.
Yeah. But I also think like Vandy, they still have games to play that are meaningful.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to play Tennessee, obviously.
No, I could see Vandy finding their way in. I'm just surprised that you have Louisville in over Georgia.
Yeah, well, hey.
Okay, well then, who'd you have winning that? Bama over A&M, or do you have A&M beating Bama?
I had Bama.
You have Bama. So is Bama your number 2 overall?
Yes, they're my 2 seed.
So I'm going to say my SEC then real quick, and then we're going to read off our 1 through 12, and we can debate finally after we got it all out. It was just hard to figure out how to best put this together. I have Alabama A&M. I don't have A&M losing a game. Like, they're going to beat Texas, in my opinion. They're a much better team than Texas. It is a rivalry game, I get that, but I think they beat Texas. They've got 2 pretty much cupcakes before Texas. I mean, South Carolina and then Samford. They get a Samford to warm up for Texas. So I like A&M to win out. I like Bama to win out. And that leads to those 2 meeting in Atlanta. I'm going to trust in Bama. It's the same thing I'm going with Ohio State. It's just who's been there before, who's been in these type of games before, what coaches have coached in these games before. I know DeBoer hasn't been in Bama for a long time, but I mean, he coached in these type of games at Washington too. I trust what I've seen out of Ty Simpson and Bama more recently than at least. I mean, I honestly like the A&M roster better, but I just can't trust them. I don't know. It's past hurt probably from the 8-4 A&Ms, which now they're 9-0, so they can't go 8-4 this year. Yeah. But I think it's no knock to them to lose to Bama. Bama's a great team, but I think they're going to have a loss at some point. A&M is not going undefeated into the college football playoffs. Yeah. And so I think if there's a loss anywhere, it's going to be Bama. So, so finally, let's read it off. You go 1 through 12. I'll go 1 through 12, and then if we can get some final debates in, because I still haven't mentioned a couple of my at-larges that made it.
All right. 1 Ohio State.
Agreed.
2 Alabama. 3 Indiana.
Okay.
4 Georgia Tech.
Okay.
5 Texas Tech. 6 Texas A&M.
Okay.
7 Oregon.
Okay.
8 Ole Miss. 9 North Texas. 10 Vandy. 11 Louisville. 12 Notre Dame.
Okay. We have some similar and definitely some differences. So mine's number 1 Ohio State, 2 Bama, 3 Indiana. We've got the same top 3. I still have A&M number 4 because I have them beating Texas, so I think they won't drop more than 2 spots after losing to Bama. I have Georgia 5. I don't like Georgia. I don't. I really don't. But I do think they're a better team than Texas and Georgia Tech. And so for that reason, if they win both their games, there's no way they're not the number 5 team in the country. Ole Miss 6. I don't see another loss in their schedule, so I don't see why they would move down past 6. Texas Tech 7. I think they went out, won the Big 12. Oregon 8. Really, my top 8, I don't see a lot of movement because honestly, a lot of them, outside of Georgia, who has some tough games, most of these teams don't really have tough games the rest of their schedule. So, because I don't really consider Texas a tough game for A&M. Probably, maybe I should put a little more value into Texas, but especially after they lose to Georgia, in my opinion, I think this Texas team's going to just be depleted. Like, their playoff chances are kind of gone. Number 9, I have Notre Dame. I have them winning out, beating Pitt this week. I think they move up to number 9. 10's where it gets interesting. This is the last team I have not mentioned. It's because I also still have not picked it. I want your opinion on it, and you're going to help me pick it because we got to figure this out. It's BYU, Utah, Miami. Those are the 3 teams left for the last at-large bid because I have Georgia Tech. Actually, I have Georgia Tech at 10. Sorry. Georgia Tech's 10. 11's BYU, Utah, or Miami getting the last at-large bid. If Miami wins out, they won't be in the ACC title game. So they're going to be sitting as a 2-loss team.
What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
Why is it between these 3 teams?
Why would it not be between these three teams? Look, again, you don't value, I don't know why, but you don't value what the College Football Playoff Committee has already told you how they feel about some of these teams.
I don't.
I
don't
do,
at all.
because I mean, I'm not saying they're right, but I'm saying this is what they've told us they value. They had Utah a lot higher than I expected. They're at 13. So right now, the at-large bids, the last at-large bids, would go to Texas and Oklahoma. I have Texas obviously losing 2 games to Georgia and to A&M. I have OU losing to Bama.
Losing this week.
So, therefore, they're going to drop below. That means if Utah, technically speaking, by what the committee's telling us right now, they would be the last at-large bid once they update the rankings and put BYU below them because BYU lost.
But Louisville will have a better win than Utah. And then they put Louisville above Utah after Texas and Oklahoma drop out.
No, there is a world with Louisville, but then here's the debate where I'm going to get confused. I think BYU is going to maybe still be ranked above Utah. Like they're going to be like 12 and 13 this week or something like that. If BYU wins out and then goes to Arlington and loses to Tech twice, do you put Utah over BYU? What?
I think my graphics wrong.
They haven't updated. It comes out tonight. The new College Football Playoff Poll comes out tonight, so it's still last week's.
Probably should have waited to do this.
We should have, but we record on Tuesdays. I think BYU is going to be slightly above Utah in this next ranking, and they're going to win out and go to Arlington and lose to Tech. If they lose twice, do they drop below Utah, or they still have the head-to-head over Utah, though? And Utah's also lost to Tech and BYU. So it's like, which two-loss team do you put in? That's where I'm almost like, do they just throw their hands up and say, neither, Miami?
They could do that.
Because also, I know you're higher on Louisville than I am. I mean, obviously, you're higher on Louisville than I am. But Louisville is also a two-loss team, just like Miami. I know they have the win over Miami, so that's the point. But I could see a world where Louisville loses one of these last 3 to Clemson, SMU, or Kentucky, somewhere in there. And if they lose one, they're out.
Yeah, well, definitely.
But that's where this last spot was so hard for me. Is you've got Louisville, Miami, which I would think Miami's the better team, but the head-to-head goes to Louisville, and you've got Utah, BYU, which I think Utah's the better team and should be in, but BYU is the head-to-head. And so, what does the committee do here? My official prediction: I think Utah finds their way in. I've got Big 12 getting 2 bids after BYU loses in the conference championship for the second time, and I think it's so hard to. What would you do in a situation where BYU has 2 losses against the same team and Utah's loss against the 2 teams above them?
Right now.
Utah's 13.
No, right now. You look up, will the Big 12 get more than 1 bid?
Yeah.
Right now, people are saying BYU out, Vandy in.
Yes.
And that goes against everything you've been preaching about right now.
Yes.
Vandy's the 16 seed.
Yes. No, I know. This is my prediction. You've got some crazy predictions in there too. Don't act like you don't.
I know I do, but it's also just this is your thinking for your whole thing. I could have crazy predictions, but there's an overall good consensus about the teams. There's just I don't know where I'm going to see them.
Again, Utah is a good football team, and this is also a prediction. Everyone last year thought that the committee would put in SEC over 2 ACC, and everyone last year thought SMU would be out after the conference championship loss. They didn't do it. They put them in. They are not doing what the public is always saying. They're doing what they think is right, and they've shown me they value this Utah team. They like them a lot. And then finally, to wrap up my rankings, number 12, I have no Texas. We've talked about that already. But so, is there anywhere else you want to debate in my list? Because we do have some differences. Like, I mean, I have a Georgia in, you have a Georgia out.
Yeah, no Vandy.
I have no Vandy. Yeah. I know you love Vandy. You love yourself some Vandy, but
what is your thinking with leaving out Vandy?
I think with Vandy, currently, they got 2 games left against Kentucky and Tennessee. I think they can win them both, and I think I would probably pick them to win them both. Okay, they're again my thinking, and we're never going to agree. The College Football Playoff Committee has already told me they value Utah more than them. If they both went out, what changes to make them jump them by 4 spots?
Vandy beats a ranked Tennessee.
If Tennessee's still ranked when they play them.
They will be.
Yeah, and I mean, that is true. Like, it is a ranked Tennessee team, but I don't know if I see that as enough to jump them 4 spots when you've already told me. Utah's got a pretty easy schedule to finish the year, too.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm telling you, and this is my thinking, if Utah wins out, Vandy wins out. Vandy has a win over ranked Tennessee, and then Utah only has to play Kansas State and Kansas. Vandy's
They
getting
play
bumped
Baylor,
up.
Kansas State, and Kansas. So also Utah has 3 games left, whereas Vandy has 2. So I mean, they get 3 more wins for the committee to see. I mean, it's not much, but like it is still something.
No, the committee doesn't care about how many wins or how many buys you had.
Yeah. But Utah has 2 ranked wins as well. They beat Arizona State, they beat Cincinnati this year. Both by over 30 points. They have 2 ranked wins by over 30 points. Like this is
But you could say Vandy has played more ranked teams overall.
Oh, well, they have. And that's just the SEC versus the Big 12 debate, which in my opinion, if you've already got 5 SEC teams in, I think the committee puts in a second Big 12.
Well, I don't.
And it's fair that we can disagree. That is
I
what
have
this is
4
for.
SEC teams.
No, I mean, you have 4 SEC. Because you have Georgia out.
Mm-hmm.
You have Georgia out, which is a big difference in our rankings that I don't. And I hope you're right. But I have them winning both those games against Georgia Tech and Texas. So,
I think we can both agree. First round, Georgia.
exits. Oh, 100%. 100%. Georgia's first round exit.
Well, actually, I don't know. Because you have them as a 5 seed at playing North Texas.
You're actually correct. If they are the 5 seed, they're not first round exits because they will be beating North Texas. But if they're any other seed, first round exits. Now let's do the final thing. We're not going to have time for the pickup. Your championship. Who is playing for that natty and who's bringing it home?
I'm so chalk. I have Ohio State and Alabama.
Okay.
And I have Ohio State winning.
Okay.
This Ohio State team is just off the charts. I don't even care if they haven't played. If they played FCS teams the whole time. This team knows how to play in big games, and they have the star power to do it. So, just can't go against them until I see something different.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I went back and forth a lot.
Here we go. Here comes the Indiana Glaze, guys. Get ready.
Well, I don't think Ohio State's making it. I think we're getting a similar story to Oregon last year. We're getting this number 1 dominant team, and I think Oregon last year was a lot better team than the Ohio State team this year. I just see a world where Ohio State gets upset by maybe number 8 Oregon. They get their revenge in the second round. It'll be right now. I have Oregon or Notre Dame going to Ohio State in the second round. I could see one of those teams pulling off the upset. If they don't, I like A&M. I like A&M to beat Ohio State. So I don't have Ohio State making it. It's between Bama, Indiana, A&M, and Ole Miss for me. Those are the 4 that I'm thinking about.
Imagine if you told yourself last year that, next year you'd be thinking Texas A&M's going to beat Ohio State.
Yeah, that is crazy.
In your face.
It is crazy, but they've shown it, and they've showed up this year. I don't think I can pick A&M to go all the way to the title game. I don't know if I trust them that much. So I'm going to... Bama's in it. Bama's not a question. In my opinion, they're the best team in college football this year, and it sucks to say, and it hurts to say. We both wanted to bet against them so many times with our sleepers, and it just didn't pan out. I'm going Bama, Indiana. Who's your pick to win it, though? Bama, Ohio State. Who do you have winning?
I said Ohio State.
I have Bama. I don't like it. It pains me to do. I think I have to bet on the history there, and I have to. You're betting on Ohio State to go back to back. What is different about me betting on A&M or Alabama? Sorry, not A&M.
Because they don't have Nick Saban. I feel like they'll get so close a lot of years.
Yeah,
but they'll never reach it because they don't have Nick Saban.
I mean, DeBoer has already made a national title.
DeBoer will not win a national title.
He may not.
In his whole tenure of coaching, he will not win a national title.
So then, that's
a hot take, by the way.
Okay, in my situation, then, DeBoer or Cignetti, which one are you trusting? You're trusting Cignetti? You're picking Indiana?
Well, no. In your situation, I'm picking Bama, but your situation's wrong.
I just don't trust. I mean, you do trust Julian Sayin over Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza, Marcel Reed, Trinidad Chambliss?
Yes.
You think he's the best quarterback in the nation?
Okay. Well, I was saying yes too much.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I believe in Fernando Mendoza. I don't believe in the Indiana team at all. I believe Fernando Mendoza is that whole team. And that's not totally wrong.
I mean, he is their best player by far. But then go to Bama. What about Bama? Ty Simpson.
I hate Ty Simpson.
You were a Ty Simpson supporter midway through the season.
I hate him. That dude, he's such a system quarterback.
But how many times has Bama won with a system quarterback?
I mean, not a lot. The only other one was Mac Jones.
I was thinking Mac Jones. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Tua wasn't. Jalen Hurts wasn't.
They weren't system quarterbacks. No, I guess not. But yeah, Mac Jones, perfect example of this.
Well, yeah, Mac Jones. I mean, Bryce Young wasn't a system quarterback. I mean, if he was a system quarterback, he wouldn't have been a top draft pick.
Yeah.
It's just all relative.
And you trust Julian Saying, over Marcel Reed
Yes.
and Trinidad Chambliss.
Marcel Reed, he's not a good decision maker. He's a really good athlete, and I love what he's done so far. He's not a good decision maker when it comes down to those big games.
Haven't lost yet.
Ohio State hasn't lost yet either.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just saying like you're knocking Reed as if like he's made a mistake in a big game. He hasn't yet.
Well, I mean, that defense has done incredible things.
Kind of, but I mean their first 2 big wins were 40-point shootouts, and that was on the back of him, not the defense. That Notre Dame game was 41-40.
Well, it's also who's that running back again? Remind me of his name.
Ruben Mott.
No.
Oh, for Jeremiah Love.
No.
Which team are we talking about?
A&M.
Moss or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Ruben Owens, not Moss. Sorry, there's 2 running backs. Ruben Owens, is that who you're thinking of?
No, I was thinking of Moss.
Okay.
He's a heck of an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean,
Le'Veon Moss. But yeah, Ruben Owens is their main back. I like Owens.
Because I think what I'm thinking of is Moss was the back last year.
Well, I think Moss might have been the back in that Notre Dame game, but Owens has taken over as the season's gone on.
Okay.
But I mean, the big pieces for me for A&M is it's not just Marcel Reed. I like the running backs. Mario Craver's been an amazing receiver. Casey Concepcion's a great receiver. Like, they have a lot of athletes on this team.
I just, again, you can't trust his decision making.
Okay. Well, we'll have to agree to disagree until we see it, and I think we'll see it.
And then, hold on. Did you just bring up Trinidad Chambliss in my fist?
Yes.
You think Trinidad Chambliss is a better quarterback than Julian Saint?
Yes. Julian Saint hasn't done anything that's impressed me this year. At all.
Trinidad Chambliss hasn't either.
Trinidad Chambliss, I mean, at least the stats and stuff look a lot better for Chambliss.
It's nothing to write home about, Connor.
Trinidad Chambliss, to me, has looked a lot better than we've seen out of Julian Saint. What, you want to look at the stats?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Yeah. 13-2 touchdown to interception ratio, over 2,400 yards. He's had over 300 yards in multiple big games. Against an OU defense that's really good, 315 yards and a touchdown. He also can run, over 434 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns. So he's got a 19-2 touchdown to interception ratio.
You want to talk about that South Carolina game?
I dislike people like you. Anytime I debate quarterbacks or anything, they point out one bad game. They would rather point out a guy that's had one bad game and 9 good games or great games, and they'd rather pick a guy that's got 10 good games.
Connor, what about Washington State? What about Georgia? Those games are bad games.
How are those going 20 for 29? So a 69% completion percentage, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a bad game.
Yes, because if you actually watch the game and not just look at the stats, you will see that Ole Miss in its entirety and Trinidad Chambliss played horrible.
In the Washington State game, yes, the Ole Miss played bad. I don't think that was Chambliss, though. I liked Chambliss in the game because I did actually watch that game.
He did not look good. The stats don't tell it because all he was doing was, I mean, he had what, 2 big plays?
Yeah, I think it was about. I mean, yes, he did that game. He did have 2 big plays, but he was still good with the football. 20 for 29, no interceptions. He was still making the right decisions. Were they always great play calling? Was they always a lot of them checkdowns and stuff like that? Yes, but he still was making the right decisions. He didn't lose in that game. He is the reason they won. If you want to point out the Georgia game, sure, but again, still, he's not making losing plays. He's making winning plays. He had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's finding the end zone and not giving the ball back to their team. That is a winning quarterback. That is a good quarterback. Like, yes, you throw some incompletion passes. Okay, cool. How are you counting that against him when, at the end of the day, that's just 1 down when he's not turning the ball over and he's scoring touchdowns?
Okay, you want to bring up Julian Saint's stats?
Yeah, sure. Let's pull up Julian Saint's stats. I'm plenty fine with pulling up Julian Saint's stats.
You're going to see a whole different quarterback.
Whole different quarterback, yeah. 126 yards in the first game. Big whoop. 4 interceptions, a lot more interceptions, still similar yards. And I will give him
a lot more touchdowns.
What I will give, no, actually, if you count rushing touchdowns, there's more for Chambliss. Chambliss had 25 touchdowns, Sayin has 24. Sayin has 2 more turnovers. He has 400 less rushing yards and only 100 more passing yards. So the stats of Chambliss, I'm not saying we have to just go off stats. You can go off eye test. What I will give Sayin the one credit, he is maybe one of the most accurate quarterbacks, if not the most accurate quarterback in the college football right now. I mean, what is his completion percent? 81% completion percentage. He's maybe the most accurate quarterback. But I don't know. When I've watched the games, he's done nothing that's impressed me. He's making the right throw. That's great. But he hasn't done anything that's impressed me. Chambliss is a game winner quarterback. Sayin, if you want to talk about system, that is Sayin. Sayin is the system quarterback. More than Ty Simpson, Sayin is the system quarterback. And he's got the easiest job in the world. Throw the ball to Jeremiah Love 10 times a game. Not Jeremiah Love, sorry, Jeremiah Smith. 10 times a game. So I disagree. Like, it really shouldn't even be a debate to me that Sayin's not better than Chambliss. Sayin's not better than Reed. Sayin's not better than Simpson.
I'm done with this game.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's all we've got for this episode, too. We've now hit over an hour. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to come back on this, and maybe I'll be wrong. You know what? Maybe I will, and I'll own it. I will own it if I'm wrong. But for right now, from what I've seen, I like Indiana. I don't like Ohio State, and I don't like Sayin over some of those other quarterbacks. We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
So, you better own it, too, when you're wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
That won't be, though.
Okay. We'll see. All right. Well, but that's all for this week's episode of We Know Ball. We'll see y'all in the next one.